ABC World News.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
These are the words of former President of the United States, Bill Clinton. Here, campaigning vigorously alongside his wife, Hillary Clinton, in the primaries against now President-elect Barack Obama. Clinton's legacy was tarnished with allegations of extramarital affairs and sexual escapades. But now, a decade after Republicans, led by Ken Starr and Newt Gingrich, tried to impeach the president for misusing his powers in office, it seems like the plot thickens. Meet 40-year-old Phil Clinton, former President of the United States Bill Clinton's bastard child. Phil Clinton alleges that he was conceived during the Summer of Love in 1967, when his mother met Mr. Clinton at a Grateful Dead concert. Recently, our British correspondent, Amanda Adams, sat down with this political anomaly.
You are running an unconventional campaign. Let's say your claim is right, that Bill Clinton is indeed your legitimate biological father. What will it prove if Bill Clinton is your father?
Well, first, let me tell you, thank you for the question, Amanda. It's a good question. First, it'll prove to my opponents and the rest of the country that I was destined to become the second black president of the United States. And secondly, what it will do is will show that Barack Obama, in my opinion, is not the first black president of the United States. He's the first president of the United States that's half white. My dad, Bill Clinton, was the first black president of the United States. Now, here's the thing. Senator Obama is a chump, plain and simple. He does not know the streets. He doesn't know the lingo. He hasn't ever lived in the projects. I've been there, okay? I know what it's like being on the street.
This point is true. This Clinton does know the streets. His opponents argue, perhaps a little too well. Here, our undercover BBC cameras caught Mr. Clinton and his chief campaign advisor exchanging drugs for money. Then, as the drug deal comes to an end, Phil finalizes the drug deal with a ghetto bird call. Regardless of his positions on drugs, one thing that is for certain is Mr. Clinton has mustered quite a bit of support from the local residents. He has mobilized an efficient grassroots campaign, and he has truly struck a chord with the common man.
Hell yeah, I'd vote for Phil Clinton. Thinks we should legalize marijuana and not make prostitutes pay taxes.
Yeah, I'd vote for Phil Clinton. I like his platform. I've read his book, Cocaine to Capitalism, and after reading that book, it's severely changed my ideals about several issues, key issues. I also like the platform of giving prostitutes a tax break. I think that'll be a major hit for him.
Here, Mr. Clinton touches down in the cocaine copter, as he calls it. He makes a rather extravagant entry for a lowly campaign event. This African-American professor teaches African-American studies at Orange Coast College. He claims that Phil was by far the worst student to ever come through Orange Coast College.
On that coke all day long on his mind. He, of course, what else could he achieve? Hits my desk and says, I've come up with a brilliant idea. Bolivia, cocaine, we can do this.
See, me and him since we're like 5 years old. That nigga, me and him, economics, we rule the world. This is what we do, nigga, all day long. Yeah, yo. My goodness gracious. Hey, yeah, yo, Phil.
This is how I like to start my day. Get a little jog on by the back bay, and you know, I feel like coming out here, it helps me clear my mind and think of all the things that I got to accomplish in a day.
prostitutes, call girls, and strippers to be exempt from paying taxes in order to stimulate the economy.
Now, here's the thing. The economy is at a standstill right now. People don't have money in their pockets, they don't have jobs, and they're losing their homes. We need to do something that will stimulate the economy. That's why I've called that all prostitutes, call girls, or strippers, they shouldn't have to pay taxes. They ought to be tax exempt. A lot of people say that prostitution is the oldest profession in the book. Well, my question is, if it's the oldest profession in the book and people have been working so hard, why should they have to pay taxes? It just makes sense. My plan's better.
How about passing out sample packets of condoms, the morning after pill, and LSD tablets to high school and junior high students?
That's right. That's right. And my plan would also call for a different change in approach to sexual education in high schools. I think there's got to be something different that happens. First, what I proposed is I think that adult films ought to be able to be checked out at libraries at high schools. I think it's the best way to make a difference in sexual education. Some of my favorites I have donated personally from my collection to public high schools. Films like Romancing the Bone, Ferminator 2 Sludgement Day, Goodwill Humpin', The Bone Collector, Little Oral Annie, A Street Whore Named Desire, The Firm, Black Beauty, you get the shaving.
Mr. Clinton received some controversial feedback and some opposition when he claimed in his book, Cocaine Capitalism, that he wanted to legalize drugs.
Finally, your most controversial stance comes in the respect to the legalization of drugs. Your book, Cocaine Capitalism, has caused quite a stir.
Now, hold on. That's a dirty trick. And I didn't say that in my book. Nowhere did I say that in my book. Merely what I called for was the legalization of drugs on Sundays. Now, what will happen, I believe, if that is to pass under my administration, is what it will do is it will force states that prohibit the sale of alcohol on Sundays, states like Utah, Mormons, what it will do is those states like them, it'll cock block them into being forced to sell alcohol on Sundays, because the alternative will be meth heads running around in the streets wild, urinating on the American flag. And what I want to ask my opponent is, do you really want an America where meth heads are running around urinating on the American flag on Sundays? It'd be irresponsible.
I'm Phil Clinton, and I approve this message. January 18th, 1985. I will never forget the first time I saw Phil Clinton. He was a skinny kid. He looked like he could be from anywhere in America. He was lean, he was fit, with hazelnut eyes and chocolate skin. He was the guy on our floor who sold reefer. He was rude, he was crass. He was an outsider who challenged the status quo. After many years and stints with drugs, debauchery, scandal, and failure, Phil Clinton refined his ways. For years, he excelled as a reggae artist. As a reggae artist, some of Phil's most famous hits were Cocaine and Jah, Jah Rastafari, and Turn Your Lights Down Blow. Cooking Jah, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, cooking Jah. Join me now for a bumper clock, boy! Despite his hardships and difficult times, for many years, Phil Clinton volunteered his time, his energy, and his money. Then he turned to be a community organizer. That's right. Get that out of here. Come into my house. Often, for many years, he worked with children with special needs.
Now, Ray, I just want to know what are we working with here? What is this? This looked like a Smurf had an abortion. I mean, what in the, is this supposed to be your best work? How about this one right here? This looks like a retarded Tyrannosaurus Rex is what it looks like right there. If a Tyrannosaurus Rex was fully standing up and it was absolutely retarded, I think that's what it would look like. What you got going on right there? What you working on?
It's a yellow toaster.
Can I tell you what I think? I think it's terrible and you need to do it again. That's what I think. Pick it up.
Visionary, progressive. Not Bill Clinton. Phil Clinton. Yes, we can't.